Good morning, comic fans. You're with the Comic Book Pusher at Comics Club, Tampa and Brandon's favorite comic and gaming store. It is the 4th of 5 new comic book days happening in July. And I'll tell you what, it's a pretty sizable stack. We're looking at about 10 solid inches. It would have been more, but we had a rather disastrous shipment from Diamond Comic Distributors yesterday. When we got the box in, it looked like it had gone through some rough handling, but it didn't look like it had anything too bad on the outside. There was one thing that disturbed us. When we opened it up, the interior boxes didn't look bad at all, but when we closer examined them, one whole side of one box had been accordioned. Good morning, Steve Fisher. And when a box gets dropped, all the paper product inside just gets damaged. So that's what we had to face yesterday. Probably half of our shipment from Diamond Comic Distributors came damaged. So a lot of our indies, while we do have a lot of them that weren't damaged, we have a lot of them that were, so we don't have as many quantities this week until we get it. We requested an emergency shipment for some of the items from Diamond. We have not heard back from them yet, but we're hopeful that we can get these books to everybody this week and in great condition. All right. So anyway, also the sale, by the way, if you don't know, we are having a sale coming up, and it starts today at noon when we open. And it's a Christmas in July sale. And today will be 20% off collecting supplies. Tomorrow will be 20% off toys and statues. Friday will be BOGO on trade paperbacks and graphic novels. Saturday will be BOGO regular back issue comic books. We're closed on Sunday, but on Monday again, we'll have 20% off of games. Tuesday, 20% off collecting supplies again, because we're going to give you a second chance at that. And because everybody uses supplies. And also on the 31st, the final day of our Christmas in July sale, we'll have 25% off wall books. That's a Wednesday. That's our busiest day of the week. 25% off wall books. And guess what? If you're a discount club member or a subscriber, you get 30% off of the wall books. That's quite an amazing discount, quite an amazing deal. Every day is something great for you. But, if you're a regular here at the Comics Club, you know that everyone's a winner when they shop at the Comics Club. Thank you so much again for joining us this morning. Let me show you what trade paperbacks. We got a restock on some real fun trade paperbacks. If you're into Batman and you're into Scooby-Doo, we've got a Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries Volumes 1, 2, and 3 back in stock in the store, as well as some other ones. So you might want to come in and check those out. Set those right over there. Spawn Origin Collection number 29 is in stock here at the Comics Club today. And this one, it is not the last thing I have to show you here outside of directly comic books, but this trade paperback. It's not trade paperbacks. It's a deluxe hardcover. When this story came out, I was absolutely flabbergasted at what a great job they did on this. And I've talked about this story many times on the show. And one of the things I said back then, and one of the things I tweeted was, if ever a story deserved a hardcover treatment, it's this one. And I'm so glad to see that they put it out in a deluxe edition. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the art. I love the story. And there's going to be a movie based on it. Everybody knows it's coming up. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This is one of the very best super stories I've ever read in my life. Absolutely top notch. It shows Supergirl in a light that you've just never seen her before. The most noble character, I think, in the DC comics. She shows her. You see her in a light that you just never see a super before. From Superman's family. Kara Zor-El, one of the most self-sacrificing, noble superheroes you could ever possibly read about. This is her story, and it's one of her stories. And Tom King's the author, and he did an absolutely amazing job. Hats off to you, Tom King, for doing Supergirl justice. And there's going to be a movie out of it. That's how well he did this. So if you're a comic book fan, if you're a comic book collector, if you just are a comic book enthusiast, like I am, a comic book pusher, then you are anxious every year in July when the new Overstreet comic book price guide comes out, and it's out today. We've got soft covers, we've got hard covers, we've got She on the cover of this one, Bill Tucci's character, as well as Brian Paluto's Lady Death character. This is the 54th annual Overstreet price guide. We've got it in hardcover too. I sold the only soft cover of these next two. There was the Shadow as well. This is a hardcover. If you need a soft cover of the Shadow, I can get it ordered for you. And also this one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which are celebrating a big anniversary right now, and also just launched today. You'll see it in a little bit. #1 new launch of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's very exciting. I can't wait to show it to you. The Overstreet comic book price guide, way back when before I did this, I was the editor of a magazine, and I got back into comic books as an adult because I heard that John Byrne was going to launch a new Superman series. This is back in 1986. Within 3 years, I would launch the Comics Club as a business. But the Overstreet comic book price guide was one of the very first things that just awakened me to this whole hobby. And at the time, it was mostly just about, wow, comics have value. I didn't realize that. This is, of course, way back 30-some years ago. And so I got a copy of the Overstreet, and I looked over the comics that I had that had survived my childhood, and I was surprised to see how many were actually worth a little bit of money. And it was a very little bit, because I loved my comic books. I read them again and again and again, and I beat them to death growing up. And some have survived. I'll tell you that story another time, because we got to get moving here. But, however, the one of the first things I did to learn about this hobby and to learn about comic books was to get a copy of the Overstreet comic book price guide. I dug through boxes this morning trying to find the very first, I have it somewhere, the very first Overstreet I ever bought way back in 1986. But the earliest one I was able to get my hands on I could find was the 37th Overstreet comic book price guide. This one was, actually it was the 30. Yeah, the 37th is the earliest one I could find. And this one's from 10 years ago, the 44th. This one was almost 20 years ago, 17 years ago. This is the 44th one. This was 10 years ago, the Overstreet comic book price guide. We've come a long way in price guides for Overstreet. But the thickness, it's about the same, because they've made the print smaller and smaller. All right, so there's our Overstreet. So excited to get those today. Let's jump into the variant covers. Can't wait to dive into that Overstreet. I love reading the articles in there. It kind of gives you an overview of what's happening in the industry, what's been happening this past year, as well as the prices for every comic book of any significance that was ever published that's going to be in there. So let's start off with our variant covers. We got Feral #5. This is a 1 in 10 wraparound cover. I should probably show you. Well, I don't know if I have one of this in this copy of the other one, but let me show you this awesome wraparound cover. Virgin wraparound cover of Feral, issue #5, 1 in 10. If you're a Feral fan, you might want to grab that. We've only got one. Something is Killing the Children, #39. This is an unlockable cover. Loving the artwork on these. Berserker, A Face Full of Bullets is the series, and this is Berserker Face Full of Bullets #1, 1 in 25 variant cover. It's a Virgin cover. And Berserker Face Full of Bullets #1. This is another variant. I think this one must be a 1 in 10, maybe a 1 in 20. I'm not certain. I don't think it's 1 in 25, but I couldn't find the the ratio variant number on this one. Hello Darkness #1, a thank you, 1 per store. So if you're into Hello Darkness, if you've read about it, #1 just starts this week. This is the thank you, only 1 per store cover. These thank yous often pop up in value because it's 1 per store. Vampirella #670. This is a 1 in 10 Parejo. Great stuff. Vampirella #670, 1 in 7. I'm loving that stuff. It's great art. This is new. Epitaph from the Abyss. This takes the old EC original horror stories, some of them, and gathers them together and reprints them in here. And we got several different covers. This is a 1 in 10 variant. We also had another variant of that somewhere. I'll have to go look. Seems to have escaped the stack. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, new series. This is a 1 in 25. brand new restart of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 issue. Get yours today. Detective Comics number 1087. This is a 1 in 25. That is a bizarre cover, eh? I think that must be the Scarecrow. Who else could it be? Well, maybe not. Those little eyeballs coming out of there. That's very strange. Zatanna. This is, what is it's a new miniseries starring Zatanna. It's a 1 in 25. What amazing artwork from, what was this, a Frizen? Is that who it is? Great artwork. Wow, loving it. NYX #1, 1 in 25. It's a new NYX series. And there's the variants for the week. What do you say we jump into? We have the most indies. Let's get the indies. Distillery, which has gone exclusive with Diamond Comics to distribute their comics, has the latest in their oversized comic book series, The Big Burn. This is actually a wraparound cover of The Big Burn. And then there's this one, which also happens to be a wraparound cover, looks like. And then you have this one, which also seems to be a wraparound cover to some extent, maybe. Could be, yeah, it is. That flows all together there. So The Big Burn. So I think these people are in some trouble because this guy looks rather demonic here. He also looks a little bit like Jason Momoa. I wonder if that's intentional. Is it just me, or does that look a lot like Jason Momoa? Huh? Maybe they were hoping he might play in the movie that they might hope to ever have of this. So, okay, let's see here. Let's get some of these Overstreets moved out of the way so we have a little more room to maneuver because we only have so much space in this tiny little area up here. One of these days I'll have a full-blown studio for you. But it's going to take money. A whole lot of spending money. Do it right, girl. All right, so let's see here. What do we got next? We have Godzilla Skate or Die. We got a couple different covers for you. This is Godzilla Skate or Die issue #2. Skate or Die, Godzilla. And then we have a Defiant, Star Trek Defiant. Spock's having a really bad headache there. He's getting some laser treatment on the brain. And O'Brien. Minor Threats, The Fastest Way Down. This is issue #4. You know, they just announced Minor Threats is going to get a TV series, I think, through Netflix. I think that's what I heard. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. If I'm right, you heard it here first. All right. Nemesis. This is Nemesis from Mark Millar. Remember the original series here? We got a new one. Ooh, it looks like he stepped in an eyeball. Master of the Universe Revolution, issue #3 from Dark Horse. Look at that cover. I'm loving that cover. This is also a Netflix series. You see that? I've never seen it, but got that artwork on the back. Loving those little pieces of art they throw on the back. If I ever do a comic book, I'm definitely doing that on the back because it looks cool. It's just cool. Oh, this Nemesis also, because I knew I had 2 of them. We have this one. Nemesis. Bad superhero, I believe. He's a bad one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. I'm telling you. #1. We've got a whole bunch of covers. I'm trying to get them here for you. All right. So they pulled no punches on the covers of the new launch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. And we have that cover and this cover. That one there. That's the Eastman Laird. We're going to sell out of this before the first 10 minutes when we open. I have more on order. So if you're looking for this one specifically and we don't have it on the shelf, let me know. I can get you one. At least for now, I can. I'm hopeful. We put our order in. We'll see if we actually get it. And that one. But all of these covers are great stuff. We're looking down the sewer. I like that. Didn't like those? Draw your own. There's something about this. I'm trying to think of what I might draw on that. The inside is that cover, just so you know, and it's wrapped around by the blanket. All right, let's keep moving here. How are we doing for time? All right, we got to get moving. What do we got? Army of Darkness, Forever. Issue number 10. I'm loving Ash falling off the roof like that, the top of this building. A lady watering her plants and watching all this go down. Addiction. Do you have one? Most people do. Mine's comic books. The Addiction. I think I'm liking this. I don't know. I'm going to have to look inside. See what kind of... well, that's not for children. Addiction. Berserker. A bunch of our Berserkers got damaged in the shipment. I apologize for that. But we do have this cover. And we do have this cover. Looks like a take on Frank Frazetta there. You think? Which is that Frank Frazetta, the famous Frank Frazetta? Looks just like this. What is it? Death Dealer? I think, perhaps. And the foil shiny one. Now, there's another foil shiny one and another cover. But unfortunately, they came damaged. So, also a couple of our rare variants came damaged. So I apologize, you guys. I have no control over this when it happens. I'm as frustrated as you are. But anyway, we'll do what we can and hope for the best that we get them replaced. Under Heist, issue number 5. I love this cover. It's peeking through a newspaper. Street Fighter from Capcom. Street Fighter. We also had some damages on this. Sorry about that. Hopefully we'll have them when you get here, or we'll get them replaced before you get here sometime this week, hopefully. Vampirella. This is issue 670. I think I showed you one of the variants earlier, at least. And then there's that one. Ooh, I like that. Seems to be kind of bleeding away down at the bottom there. That is some cool covers there. Great stuff. All right. This is Valiant Comics. Is now being published by Alien Books. And this is The Dark Soul Side, number 1. Look at that art there. Looks reminiscent of, what is that? Hellraiser. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? Ram God. We all unfortunately had a couple of damages on this one too. Ram God, so we don't have but a few copies. And then there's that cover. Why not? And Alien, you remember Resident Alien? It's also on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's original series on there. That's not a paid-for advertisement, but, if the Sci-Fi Channel and Dark Horse would like to throw me a bone, feel free. Rook Exodus, number 4. This book and this whole universe has gotten hot and very popular, especially this book. And let's see here. What is this? This is one of those books. It's hard to understand what the cover, what the actual title is, because it's not made clear. This is The Six Fingers, and it's issue number 5. This body parts hanging around. Yikes. The Scale Trade. We're talking dinosaurs here. The Scale Trade. What a great cover that is. If you like dinosaurs, man, you got to love that cover. Look at that. And in the modern day world, one step removed from our own, dragons are a highly respected and highly endangered species, but poaching is an existential threat. When a young idealist joins the federal agency tasked with managing dragon populations, he quickly discovers that the entire system is corrupt. What a surprise, a system being corrupt. There you go. Spawn is killing every spawn that ever was. Apparently he's mad at all his other selves, and there you go. And he's number 1. That's a number 1. Spawn kills every spawn. And there's this cover too, which is kind of reminiscent of what was his name? Big Daddy. I forget his name. Big Daddy something or other. Hoping it was great. How you doing there, Two Gun? Good to see you. Good to see you, Two Gun. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you didn't like those Spawn Kills Every Spawn covers, well, draw your own. See if you can do as well as Todd or Capullo, or hey, you never know, you might be able to. Give it a go. You could become a famous comic book artist, just like Todd. Rat City, #1, which is Spawn in the future, basically. And what do we have here? Supermassive from Image Comics. This is kind of like their take on Power Ranger-like things. Supermassive. If you're a Supermassive fan, creatures come in all shapes and sizes, but most of the good ones come from Universal Studios. And Universal Monsters has Creature from the Black Lagoon going. This is issue #4. That's Jenny Frison on the cover. Good stuff. Void Rivals from the world of Transformers and such, up to issue #11. This ties in with Transformers somehow, I'm told. I don't actually read this, but you tell me. Does it? Does it tie in? I think it does. Feral, if you're a Feral fan. Are you a Feral fan? We're up to issue #5. There's that one I showed you before, and it's that wraparound cover. Boom. And there's this one, which is I think based on a movie poster. It seems like it looks like a movie poster. I don't know which one. Does anybody out there know which movie poster it was? Tell us down below. Leave it in a comment down below, and you'll also get yourself into the drawing that way. There you go. So there's that. This is Shatter Spin Ninja Lego #1 Shatter Spin. You get that art on the back. I like the good use of the back cover. I'm liking it. Great stuff, people. Hate Revisited. Years and years and years ago, Peter Bagg, is it Bag or Baggy? I'm not sure. I think it says Peter Baggy. Anyway, he wrote Hate, and now he's wrote Hate Revisited. So this comic book deals with hate. No one should read this book. No one #10. Read this book. Something Epic, the Frank Miller. This is a Frank Miller homage cover. This is book 12. Frank Miller homage cover from The Dark Knight Returns. If anybody remembers that story. King Spawn. Well, there's talk of a movie hitting King Spawn. Is it a movie? Is it an animated film? You know, when I was a kid, we didn't call cartoons movies, but now they do. We called them animated films when it was a full-length film. We didn't call them movies. But now they're movies. So King Spawn, animated movie, maybe. I don't know. Has anybody heard anything? Tell me. Dick Tracy is up to issue #3. And you got to love this back cover, too. Well, one of the thugs there, one of the gangsters. Who could it be now? Blood Squad 7 is up to issue #3. I showed you the variant covers for Epitaphs from the Abyss. Here are the regular variants and the regular one. A nice shiny foil one. Love those. Here's a nice shiny foil of that other one. Love that. And draw your own horror covers. Yeah. You know, that's going to be fun. This is some of the original stuff that has been redone, from what I understand, which looks fun. It says here, see you next time. So I'm looking forward to looking into that. Flash Gordon has a new series. This is issue #1 of the new Flash Gordon series. Liking the covers. The good guys, the bad guys, the whole team there. You got Flash himself here running at us with a sword. And there he is with his ray gun and a sword. And if you didn't like those covers, well, there's this one. This one was printed on the wrong paper for doing art. And I think they're planning on sending out a replacement. This one is returnable because of it. But if you don't care, if you just want someone to autograph it, it's fine. It's not the best paper to do artwork on. That's kind of paper. So that's important, that's important that they get it right. And by the way, all of these have this artwork on the back cover. From Mad Cave, one of the newer comic book companies. We have Local Man. That's issue number 12. And last but not least, from the indies, we have from Image Comics, issue number 53 of Monstrous. Absolutely beautiful art in Monstrous. If you're not familiar with Monstrous, let me tell you, the artwork is exceptional. And they always have these incredibly crazy, beautiful covers. Plus, look at the back cover. Look at that. Great stuff. Lots of fun. All right, there's our indies. Let's jump into Marvel and DC, which were rather slim, really, for the week. They had lots of variants, but not as many variants as they've done in the past. Which, personally, I'd like to see them slow down a bit on those variants. Too many variants. I think I'll say a lot of people agree. Just too many variants. This is actually Captain America number 11, but because the Deadpool movie is going on, they're putting Deadpool and Wolverine on everything. NYX, this is the X-23 character and her team in New York. Marvel's pushing this one really big. I got a feeling we might be seeing some sort of NYX movie at some point, because it looks like they're actually putting together this ongoing team. What the heck? I think that was a little upside down. This ongoing team. Here she is in the blinds. If you just want the logo, I'm not a big Just Logo fan. There's some things of who's really cool looking, like Doctor Who's, perhaps. Let's see here. There's another great one by, is that Archer? Yeah, that is X-23, the character. So really love to see that. Is it her name Ginny, I believe? Is it Ginny? Whatever her name is, she's getting her own, and that's awesome. This is Annihilation 2099, been a hot series. It's some first appearances from the 2099 world in this. This is issue number 4. Ultimate Black Panther number 6. The whole Ultimate universe has been extremely popular. We're very happy they've done a good job on it so far. Moon Knight. This is Moon Knight's Blood Hunt tie-in. Issue number 7 of Moon Knight. Hitting the stands today. We've got Wolverine, Blood Hunt. This is issue number 4. This Blood Hunt story is a massive crossover. The people who have been reading it have been telling me they've really been enjoying it. So I'm glad to hear that. My wife is reading it, and she's a big fan so far. Venom Separation Anxiety is up to issue number 3. There's your homage cover. Anybody know which cover this is homaging? Which is it a nod to? Anybody know? Leave the information down in the remarks down below. Get yourself into our monthly drawing. Venomverse Reborn. That's right. They brought it back. Couldn't get enough of it, so they brought it back. And there's that cover. And this one. Ooh. That's pretty bad. Ass-looking sword there. I'm liking it. Looks like the Vikings are invading in monster form. All right. See how we're doing for time here. Oh, we're running out of it. So we'll speed it up. Here's a facsimile edition of X-Men it's Wolverine number 88. And you can get it in the very hot book, the original. And then they have the Deadpool Wolverine World War III going on. He kills the Marvel Universe again. He's making fun of Wolverine and teasing him. But look, they're best friends. Look at that. Besties. Wolvie and Deadpool. The Merc with the mouth. Besties. Star Wars Darth Vader, issue number 48. This is a Strange Academy Blood Hunt, issue number 3. And that'll be the last thing from Marvel Comics. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a phone call during the show. What's going on here? Hello. You're at the front door. Okay, let me get over there to the front door. Be right back, fans. Sorry, kids. Staff has arrived, but no key. Power Girl, issue number 11. We're almost done here. Issue number 11. Issue number 11. Now look here, look closely. He's got kryptonite behind his back, and he's like, what, 3 feet, standing 4 feet away from her, maybe? She should be feeling that kryptonite way before that. But that's okay. It's just a picture. In a fantasy world. The Flash, number 11. I like these. These are very cool. And that one. The Flash, the fastest man alive. This one, it's like Flash having a headache there. So, I showed you earlier the Zatanna brings down the house variants. Here you go. Some really great stuff there. Great covers. Lots of fun. Harley Quinn is up to issue number 42. Our favorite jester. Harley Quinn. What a cool cover that is, huh? In her Harlequin costume. Her jester costume. What's that? Oh, Mr. Happy would like to chime in and say that the secret word is jester. It's no joke. It's jester. If you know the secret word, it gets you 15% off any single item in the store. Limit 1 per person per day. Some restrictions apply. If you're a discount club member or subscriber, you get an extra 5%. That's 20% off. And don't forget the Christmas in July sale is still going on. It starts today. It'll be going on all week long. Thank you, Mr. Happy. And we'll see you next time. So what are we on here? We got Batman, Brave and the Bold. This is issue number 15. Liking that cover. That's crazy. Booster Gold on there. Green Arrow. This one ties into the whole Absolute Power storyline. Oops. Green Arrow. I'll get it right. There it is. Green Arrow. And speaking of Absolute Power, we got Absolute Power Ground Zero second printing. If you missed the first one, there you go. We also have Task Force 7, issue number 2. Task Force 7, issue number 2. Little Aquaman on there. I like that cover. I like the way they did that. Very cool. Half in and out of the water. Or if you prefer the mug shot, there you go. And yeah, these dates you see on there, those dates are actually the first appearance dates of these characters. They had Superman last time. And this one, this is Aquaman. He first appeared in 9/19/1941. Anybody know which comic book it was? Let us know. There's one more of a great nearly virgin cover with Wonder Woman on it. Great stuff. And these covers, they make a larger, bigger cover. 12 panels. Pretty cool, huh? And this is part 4 of that. If you're trying to collect all the covers, Amanda Waller, this is Absolute Power Origins. It tells Amanda her story. Because, you know, Waller is the most evil person right now in the DC universe, at least the most evil human. Detective Comics is up to 1,087. Batman Dark Age. This is issue number 4. And last but not least, New Horror. This one from Tinian, James Tinian. This is The Nice House by the Sea, number 1. Loving the postcard thing. Very strange creatures on it. Well, there you have it, people. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's all of our stuff. Don't forget, if you're local, to take advantage of the sale that we have coming up. And remember, read. It brings out the hero in you. We'll see you next time. Comics Club.